the other day, the key was playing about fair on that start. That was absolutely fearless.
Yeah, well, I think obviously, starts is something I feel like we've spoken about for years.
Yeah,
feels like years. So it was really cool to get that start. But we know that what Australia are like, and that they're going to come back and try and come back and hit us pretty hard. So we've got to have real faith in our game plan and take it up even a little bit more next time around.
They did come back. They did push you. How pleased are you that you've in the fourth quarter you were able to pull away and make it quite comfortable?
Really proud, actually. I'm really proud, but still know that we don't want to get into those positions where we let them back in, because they're a team that we know that they come back really hard and they can kind of creep back into games like that. So, we don't want to be in that position. I thought we put ourselves in actually a really good position, but still let them back in. But proud of the girls being able to hold on.
And Noeline, just how good was that as a game one performance? It looks like probably one of the better performances against Australia in quite some time.
Yeah, definitely. I think the last time we played Constellation Cup, I think maybe January or February, I can't remember, last year. So it seems such a long time ago. And for a lot of these players, they haven't experienced that. As you've alluded to, I think the ball got down to the circle through a Whitney, to a Peter, to a Grace in 3 seconds. And I was still looking, thinking, oh my gosh, that's our world record. So the start was sublime, really happy with that. Our ability then to maintain is another thing that we're working towards. But as you've said with your questioning, we did go down, but we were able to keep our head above the water when the pressure was on. So I'm really pleased with that.
What did happen in that third quarter then? Where do you sort of pinpoint what might be a work on come Sunday?
Yeah, from what I saw, and I'll have to have another look, I thought we got ball from our defensive end. Looking at our stats just briefly, we weren't able to take it through. I think it's individual error at certain times. I understand what we're trying to do, but our ability to know when you just got to do the basics, when you've got to take their body on, is probably at times an area that we need to work on, and finishing off. So I feel that those were the things. I thought structure-wise, especially defence, I thought was really nice and outstanding, I think. But attacking in, we just still need to just keep chipping away at the areas that we want to work on in strategy.
Speaking on individual performances, there was some very great individual performances there, especially Peter and Kate Heffernan. How did you think those girls went?
Yeah, massive. Look, with Pets, she's been in and out, and once again, I think especially first half shows her amazing ability to thread that board, to connect with Grace. I thought she did that really well. Once again, that's probably her first game that she's played 4 quarters. There were moments there where we're going, you keep doing this, you're going to get off. But hey, she stuck at it. And I think that's really good. I think that's good for our team, that we're able to ride the ups and downs, we're able to pull ourselves out, and we're able to hold. So really pleased with her. Kate Heffernan, she reminds me of an Australian wing defence, that same sort of style. So one-on-one, when she goes, she goes. But I think also her connection with both her and Whitney on the outside, they've done a power of work in our defensive structure, so real happy.
Niles, do you think that she had the better of the captain of Australia? Was that Liz Watson?
I suppose from me, I thought it was a good start for Kate. I would never disrespect Liz. I hold her in high regard. I really do, and she's a master at what she does, and it actually is working everybody else. I feel as a unit, they all did their role and at strength, and it turned over a lot of balls. So really pleased for Kate. I think our next bit will be, can we do that again? That's the challenge. So we've had a really good game, good start, good benchmark. Can we do it again, which is our next challenge upon us.
Australia made a heap of changes in tonight's match. Are you going to make any changes in your game? How confident were you that this team will get it over the line?
That's probably one of the pleasing things. There were moments we were nearly ready for the change, and then people pulled themselves out and we were able to get solid again. that's really pleasing. And with Phoenix coming off, with the blood, and Kayla coming on, and I think with what she did in that goal defence added a different variety, which also turned ball over. So really pleased with all of the players to be able to stick at it. We'll get a lot, they'll get a lot as well in regards to our own confidence.
And Meals, this is also celebrating your 50th chess as well as Noeline's 50th chess as coach. I mean, what a coincidence.
I know, it must be something special
Yes.
going on. It's obviously just a real privilege. 50 games is a lot to be able to pull on the black dress. And I was once told that it's like sometimes easier to wear it for the first time. It's always harder to stay in it. So I'm not, the honour's not kind of taken on me.
And how did it feel, I guess, having that game, that moment, winning over Australia, being number ones?
Yeah, I mean, we always know it's such a good tussle against Australia, and I remember actually back to my very first game. It was against Australia, and it was like ritual, like by fire. It was like kind of coming onto the court. I had no idea what was coming, and so always really proud when we can get one on the Aussies, and more proud that we can do it in a way that is really showcases the way that we want to play and how we play as a unit, and that's always our strength as the collective as well too. So I'm most proud of that tonight.
Knowles, in the third quarter, what do you think did not go so right, and what will be those focuses for Sunday to make sure that instead of dipping in the third quarter, we keep the same, or even
Yeah, I thought we turned over ball. I thought we had ball in hand. I think in our attacking, we just weren't getting those drives onto circle edge and keeping the level, so we became quite parallel and probably quite stagnant as well, and not necessarily took the easier road, but our ability to get on circle edge, we know when we're like that, we're very successful, and it's hard for the defence to be able to turn over ball when we're one-on-one. So, those are the things that we know that we can do, and it's our ability, I suppose, to take Aussie on. We know that the hard one-on-one, and mentally when we go in that space, we'll either pull the penalty or we'll get the ball. So we'll learn from this experience, and we'll take that for the next bit, but also noting they'll probably go twofold on us. So, we need to rise to the occasion.
And not giving too much away, but do you think you'll keep your starting seven quite similar for Sunday, or are you open to new combos and mixing things up?
Oh, I think it's getting really hard, if I'm going to be honest. This is the thing that I'm probably getting worried about as we get closer to Netball World Cup. I think everyone's putting their hand up. Our mission is to win the Constellation Cup, but also knowing that it's Netball World Cup and knowing that I need to give opportunities, but we've got to do it right. So we'll be having massive discussions behind the scenes as to what we think is right, but also we need to consolidate. So there's a lot of things that's riding on, I think, this series, and it's a good pressure. It's something that we haven't felt for a wee while, where we know that we've got firepower on the bench. So we'll see how the players recover from this game, what needs to happen in the next 2 days, and then we'll work it out as we get closer.
Do you find the girls are competing against each other to fill those spots?
I to some degree, I feel sorry for them, mainly because I know they serve each other so well, and then I'm asking them, or we're asking ourselves, to be so competitive on each other, to know that you've got to own the bib. And it just buggers up your head sometimes. So, and I think that's the testimony to these players and wanting to wear the black dress, but also I think our whole philosophy that we're all part of it and we all need each other to be better, but also to be Netball World Champs. So that's the philosophy. And I think a good thing that's sort of starting to come out as well is the system. Just because someone's not here for this moment of time doesn't mean you're not going to be here again. And I think that's showing it when you look at a Peter, you look at all these people that are still here and proving their worth out on court.
I guess, Mills, you probably have experienced that for quite a while, not being there on the court and thinking if you were going to be back, and then look at you tonight, you played an amazing full game. So I guess, how did it feel to be back on court today?
Yeah, I mean, I love the competitiveness of playing Australia, and we always kind of know that we have to get up massively for the game. So yeah, I just loved being back out there on court. I was feeling a bit nervous. I hadn't faced Australia for like a couple of years now. So yeah, but at the same time was really looking forward to it. So yeah.
Meals, can you explain to us, because none of us here have ever experienced this. To be 11 goals up against the world number one at the end of the first quarter, what does that feel like, and how do you feel going into the next quarter after that?
Yeah, I guess I more so personally myself have been on the other end when we've been like 11 goals down. So to be 11 goals up, it feels quite nice, and it almost feels like almost a bit too good to be true. And I kind of have to change that thinking to really actually know this is how we should be, because this is the way what we've trained to be. So it's kind of changing that thought process, which is still a work on for me. But we've got to take it when we can get it and run with it when we do. So yeah.
Now, when they get home, it's going to be their first tests at home in over 1,000 days. How important is it going to be to make it 2 wins and have the Constellation Cup stored away in Taurua?
That's what we've talked about leading into Constellation or leading into camp, the opportunity that presents for us to be on home soil. I think there's a lot of firsts for this team and individuals, not only, as you say, the best first quarter that we've ever played, first matches for a lot of people, but for us first to go back to back at home. So it's massive for us, because we know once again when we hit Trans-Tasman or when we hit Aussie soil, it's all on. So we've got to take these opportunities that present, and that's the space we want to work into in regards to our pursuit of dominance. So we'll find out what that looks like once we get there, but I think the next bit is recover and then get to work, and making sure once again that we stay true, I think, and practice and don't get ahead of ourselves. So that's really important.
Mills, how was it for you playing with Peter? Obviously you've played with quite a few different wing attacks now. It must be an adjustment, but looks like you guys are having like an absolute ball out there.
I don't know if an absolute ball is the right words, but it was definitely enjoyable. I mean, she's the most explosive player I think I've ever seen out there on court, and she's so easy to read. When she backs herself, she's pretty unstoppable. So really cool. It's another new combination that obviously just takes time to build, and so like a new combination like left and right of me with Grace in there as well too. So we're still going to continue to build that, and lots to work on with all our combinations. And I think that's a really exciting thing, is that it's not we haven't had lots and loads of time and matches together, so there's still a lot more that I think lots of combinations can grow.
And what about your combo with Grace? It's from the sideline, it's looking really nice.
Yeah, I mean, she's so exciting, right? She's it's really cool. It's definitely coming, and we're working on it still. And I mean, she's so young. She's just got such a bright future. So very exciting to play with her.
Knowles, obviously you've got the split squad for those going to Australia. For the girls that didn't get on tonight, how is that sort of looking for their game time on Sunday?
Yeah, I know, that's always the interesting thing, and that's once again follows the question that you asked in regards to opportunities and what we do for the next starting 7. I'm mindful of it, definitely, but I probably can't answer clearly now, because I've still got to think that through. I understand, I can't say nothing. It is a good problem and not in both, because I know that the work that people are doing, and I know where we are as a team and a squad, but also individuals as well. So it is good, and it's not in one respect, and we'll see where that goes to next.
Noeline, just on Peter and Grace, how much do you think they bring up the best of each other, and do you think having Grace there is probably the key to getting Peter firing in the black dress?
They got a great connection, and I think you saw that in I was going to say in spasms. You saw that, and also that connection, that ability to let those long balls go, which is a beautiful brand of netball. There's also that brand that we're looking for in regards to just getting it on circle edge and get your knitting done. And once you get on circle edge, there's nobody that can stop that one-on-one, either to her, Grace, or any of our shooters. So we're looking to find that balance there. I thought they both did really well, and always room for improvement.
One last question, and that's about the men's game. You must have been standing there on the side of the court and all watching the men's game opening tonight's matchup. What did it feel like, seeing that for the first time in one of New Zealand's biggest stadiums?
I think it's brilliant. I think it's brilliant for our sport overall. I think it's brilliant for the men's game, and it adds a different dimension to what people see and the style. But I think also the physicality that's out there on court. It's the first, I think, for a lot of things that seems to be happening in New Zealand through Netball New Zealand, plus also the work that's been done behind the scenes and our brilliant sponsors. So, you know, they probably have a lot to learn in regards to New Zealand, and once again that trans-Tasman rivalry and the different style that you have to come up against. So it'll be all on for them in Melbourne. But I think the great thing is we're showcasing our sport, males and females, and I couldn't be more prouder.
And your thoughts on the results in the end with Australia winning it?
Yeah, look, geez, they look like, you know, that goal attack looked like a mini Sherelle there actually, and her ability to put the shot up and the whole technique. You know, so it doesn't surprise me that first initial hit, that if you're not used to it and you don't train, it just takes you out, it blows you away. This is something that we've been massively trying to do in trainings, that you hit hard and we get used to it, but also the overall speed of the game. So they've got to learn from it, and the only way that you can is if you're out there. So Melbourne's all on for them.